Today on my 1998 Chevrolet Silverado, we're going to be taking a look at the Malone Axis Truck Bed Extender. It's also going to give us a tie-down point for our ladder. On certain trucks, you're not going to really have a whole lot of tie-down points, if any, on the inside of the bed. On my truck, I don't. So it gives us another place to put a strap on to secure the load. I have one here, and I also have one going down to the hitch. The hole has a 3/4 inch diameter, so for the etrailer strap kit that I'm using today, the hooks go in there nice and easy. The Malone Axis does come with an optional roller you can grab separately, or you can grab it just as a kit. It's a 45-inch long roller, so it's really going to help with those longer loads, and just so it glides nice and smoothly whenever you're taking something off or putting something in. So this is going to be really good for not scratching up some of your loads. If you're using it for a kayak, it's definitely going to help your kayak from getting all scratched up. We'll have 10 different width adjustments, and that's only going to be adjustable if we don't have the roller in here. So right now it's at 48 inches, but if we were to take out these little pins, you notice all these different holes here. Those are all the different options that we have, but we can push it all the way in, reinsert this pin. And that's going to go all the way down to 28 inches. So 10 different holes for each side, giving us a total of about 20 inches of variables when it comes to how wide we can make this. So it all just depends on what you're really carrying. We have more holes right here. So from the top lip of your hitch receiver to the top of the crossbar here, in the highest configuration, it's going to be about 20 inches. But if we pull that same type of clip from before, put it down to here, that'll bring it down to 13 inches, giving us a total of 7 inches of travel. And that adjustment's great depending on what you're really hauling. If we're hauling stuff in the bed of the truck, the lowest setting's probably going to be the best. But if we do have some rails in the bed of our truck, because we do sell those, definitely check those out, they're pretty cool. They go about right here. We might want to raise that up a little bit. In the long load configuration, we're going to have about 4 inches of rise. So the lowest point right here is about 22 inches, and then the lowest point here to the ground is about 18 inches. So it is nice if you do plan on kind of going a little off-road or just have a very steep driveway. We're going to limit the amount of things we're going to hit because of that rise. We are going to need a 2-inch hitch receiver to utilize the Malone Axis. If you don't have one, we do have some on our website. Just use our fit guide to see what works. The cool thing about this is it does have an anti-wobble device that comes with the kit, and that's just going to make it so it's not sitting there shaking on the inside of your hitch. It does come with a hitch pin and clip as well, so you don't have to worry about grabbing that either. I do like how they threw this in, just because I really don't like when an accessory is sitting there rattling in the back. We can also swap this thing around like this. So if you have a truck and you have a ladder rack or a camper shell, we are going to have some different adjustments here. We can use it like this for those taller racks that you may be working with. And right now in the lowest setting, from the top tube of your hitch receiver to the crossbar, it's going to be about 55.5 inches. But if we pull this pin and use those 8 different height adjustments to go all the way up, this will bring it to about 62.5 inches. So that's pretty much all you really need, regardless of if you're putting it on your roof, on your camper shell, or on your ladder rack. Whether you have a really heavy kayak or you're just gassed after you get off the water, it's going to help you a lot loading all this stuff up. If you have a taller car, it's usually a little bit more difficult than most. So with the roller on there, it's nice. You don't need the roller, but I would definitely say that it's something you kind of want. Just makes it a lot easier and smoother whenever we're putting whatever we're putting up on our roof. So I would definitely say grab the roller, because then it just makes it a little bit easier to kind of get it over all these lips and such. And if you're loading up by yourself, it's going to make it so much easier. Me personally, I like this configuration better just because we have 3 bars on our kayak now. So we can have a nice tie-down point down here. We won't need a bow and stern just because we don't have it hanging over our roof. I don't really like that whenever I'm hauling kayaks. So having it shifted back a little bit is definitely a plus for me. It really all just depends on what you want. When it comes to the Malone, I think it has a lot more adjustments, more holes. So if you are kind of carrying different things on different days. You never really know what you're gonna carry. I think the Malone's gonna be more versatile in that aspect. But if you only have a couple things that you're hauling around, you know what it is. Erickson does make one that is gonna work just as well as this one. But if you're doing just sports and rec stuff like me, I usually just haul kayaks. I really like the Yakima long arm. It adjusts and just pivots, so it's just one piece. This is a 5-piece system, so it might be a little bit more hard to kind of store away and keep everything intact. And then the Erickson's gonna have a couple less pieces. So it all just depends on what you're really wanting. But for me, I think this is gonna work for me just because I don't know what I'm carrying half the time. But if I were just to do kayaks, definitely go with the Yakima. So that's a good comparison for you, and I hope that helps. And that's just one simple accessory that makes it a little bit easier to load some of those larger and longer cargo up on your roof or in the truck bed. And again, this was the Malone Axis Truck Bed Extender, and I'm Adam with eTrailer.